I guess I could sing while we. No, I'm gonna fire everything up here in just a few minutes, folks. You know, ridiculously as it may seem, I get a strike. I get music strikes for the music I'm playing at the beginning of the show every fucking episode on YouTube. Oops, sorry, not supposed to swear tonight. It's Christmas Eve, right? So we'll check that. But no, I every episode, I think one of these freaking sociopaths are like just like reporting them fakely because every time I respond with the license fee, the Adobe license fee I register it with and I pay for to the music that I'm using here to license with. But but everyone, they're like, oh, you've been demonetized. And oh, by the way, you're demonetizing me, but I'm not even monetized with YouTube. But they are not monetizing me on YouTube because of all these stupid ass strikes that they give me that I keep, submitting the licenses for. So they don't monetize me for these hockey puck stuff strikes, right? But then they run the ads on them, and they just keep all the money from the ads. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I'm not even putting it on. They'll find some way else to strike it tonight, guaranteed. But that's okay. It's just a Christmas thing. Staying kind of out of politics, but I'm gonna go grab a smoke. I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna come on at 7 o'clock. So just not even a full smoke. You guys enjoy yourself. Actually, I got an idea. What's his face said we could play his music license free. So actually, let me throw on this while we're in the Tom. What is it? Tom McDonald? Yeah, Tom McDonald had a farm. Canadian rapper. Where the hell are you? Hey, let's do this. Yay.
Lately, USA is getting scary.
I'll be right back.
Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying. I'm tired of the pissing and complaining. Why you living in America if all you do is hate it? You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation? Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America, does anybody know what the hell happened to the Patriots? Lately this nation is so ashamed and hating itself. Did everyone forget that people died to pay for this? Ungratefulness, United States gave everything to you just to help. I just want to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family. I don't need your help to understand it was a tragedy. Can I just be thankful for my country eating happily without you trying to guilt me for the genocide and casualties? I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't black or white, it's conflict designed by the system. I don't need your pronouns, all I see is men and women. Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescriptions. If you don't like it, go. Hate it, then don't call it home. We don't need no violence, got no time for all you radicals. Screw your status quo, we're not animals. I won't kneel for the anthem, cause the flag is what I'm standing for. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America, you can hate the government. government and still love the country. The fundamental values of America are concrete. Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly. They're labels that they use to create chaos and corruption. You can know the history and still be proud of where you're from. Every flag around the world is covered in a little blood. We started out United States divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America.
Guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
That was going so smoothly, too.
Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve, actually. I think you want to be technical. And I'm probably going to come online at some point tomorrow just to say hello and Merry Christmas to everyone. I don't know, maybe not. So maybe I should just get it out of the way now. I just wanted to come on real quick tonight. Everybody's enjoying time with their family and such. A lot of people are anyway. Mine will be spent tomorrow with my kids. Looking forward to that. Mia's going to actually swing by. I'm riding over to the kids with her. But I had to come on tonight. I didn't want to do anything political. This isn't meant to do anything like that. I think actually this is Christmas Eve. It's a time to let your spirit and your soul rest a little bit. Let the bad guys do what the bad guys want to do. You know, historically in combat, you kind of check both sides always seem to kind of check their fire at Christmas time. So don't want to lose sight of that. Had a little fun this afternoon, though, this morning, because there was, I wonder if I can just, if I go to this, well, there we go. There was the curious case of Patrick Bergy that came out, right? So Sunday, I'm going to go over this, right? Because this was really cool to me. It was like a nice Christmas present. I will just a quick summary, right? So this investigative journalist, I have no idea who this is, reached out to me a while back. He had some questions for me. No problem. Give you answers. I'm not going to give you like a clue here or a hint there, you know, and maybe if you, I can't tell you. No. He asked me a question, I gave him a freaking answer. If I didn't know the answer, didn't give it to him. He apparently found me to be a curious case, which I would have to argue I would agree. In fact, I don't really disagree with much of anything he says in here, even the kind of negative comments about me. Yeah, right. I get it. But tonight, what I want to do is Sunday, right here, and you can't really see this, but the knowledge of the first Knowledge Fight podcast about ShadowGate is found here. You can copy and paste the following URL into the browser if you prefer that method, and I did. right? And actually, I downloaded it, and on Sunday, I'm going to play the whole 3.5 hour show because it's like it's a comedy show. But it's kind of like it's the stupid comedy, right? Where they got that fake laugh and they got the little beeper buttons and shit. Which okay, I'm a little jealous of those. I got beeper buttons, but I never hit the right one, and I don't have them properly programmed. I mean, what the hell is that? So, you can stop now, drum beat. There we go. Hi everyone, Merry Christmas. So, before I get distracted here, they go off about 3.5 hours on a anti-ShadowGate tirade, right? It was right after ShadowGate came out, and I had never seen it, and so I'm reading this, and I click that link, and I'm like, oh shit! I mean, these guys, they wanna take piss balloons and burst them in my face. God's my witness. But some of it's actually pretty funny. Just simply because we're gonna have fun playing their article back after you read, or playing what they said back after you read. I'm gonna see, this is like the thing they put. Then I'm gonna go to like a spoiler alert, right? Spoiler alert. Oh yeah. And this investigative journalist actually went around and said and reached out to his people. This is actually from so these guys, this is an Open Resources LLC, Research OSINT Investigations, right? So I would suspect they probably have connections within the IC community. And he says, as a conspiracy debunker and disinformation researcher, I could not avoid watching ShadowGate as part of my normal activities. In fact, I watched it multiple times over the course of several weeks as I tried to make sense of many of the incoherent claims found within it, right? During those viewings, one thing struck me as different from the rest of the production. Patrick Bergy. Patrick Bergy's story is interesting in and of itself. Enlisting in the Army, in the U.S. Army at 39 years of age after graduating from training at 40, he deployed to the global war on terror, completing a tour in Afghanistan, and then returned to civilian life and continued his career as an IT manager and software engineer. It was in his capacity that he was employed by the government contractors, where he deployed overseas several more times, including time in active war zones. Completely true. Billed as ShadowGate documentary as a whistleblower, Bergy spins a tale about major government contractors creating various software solutions for use by the U.S. and allied forces in the global war on terror. Software that manipulates the targeted population and applies varying levels of psychological warfare on enemy forces. This collection of software tools, according to Bergy, is called ShadowNet. ShadowNet, again, according to Bergy's interviews, was used by psychological warfare units and other Special Operations Command, U.S. SOCOM, intelligence elements, and was supported by various military contractors such as Dynology, Bergy's former employer. He goes on to say, what struck me as odd about Bergy's interview was in ShadowGate was that I believed what he was saying. I saw no signs of deception in his interview segments. I came away from ShadowGate with the clear assumption that Bergy was telling the truth. The same cannot be said about the rest of ShadowGate, but I felt confident that Bergy was giving an honest interview. That, or he was a very skilled liar. At a minimum, he believed what he was saying to be true. As an investigator who was trained in behavioral analysis and the detection of deception during interviews, my reaction to his interview segments continued to puzzle me. In fact, it bothered me so much that I eventually decided that it was time for me to look into this particular conspiracy theory myself. Private messages and emails were sent. This is in the interim between. Okay, so like here's one from a confidential source. Yes, ShadowNet. I worked in the redacted that used ShadowNet, and his description is accurate. Right? So this is one of the confidential sources. Listen, I don't know who this person is, right? I don't have any idea who this person is. But if you're one of if you're one of every journalist with a blue check that has never reached out to me, never taken the time to investigate, or the ones that have taken the time to investigate and know that this is true, Ann Vandersteel. But she's not really blue check. I get it. But Ann Vandersteel's verified. She's spoken to people. She's spoken to the freaking general manager of our contract. So she knows, right? People know. But that's another confusing thing, right? She works with Flynn. And I love the lady, right? But see how complicated this gets, my friends? He said, in the interim between hearing Bergy's interviews and finally taking steps to investigate, as I encountered intelligence community professionals during my regular activities, I would occasionally ask about Mr. Bergy's allegations. On most occasions, they would just shake their head and frown, or they would say, probably honestly so, they weren't familiar with any such program. Several conspiracy debunkers and other assorted researchers have made statements to the effect that they don't believe Bergy's story. He was described as weird and possibly unhinged from reality. Listen, I can't really argue a lot of these things, right? But put yourself in my shoes. He's saying that what I've been saying as far as like the work that I did, my claims in ShadowGate are true. He's verifying them, right? So that being said, the attacks I've had, there's nobody asked PFC that thought his country would stand behind him. And and that's going to be one of the great things about the 3.5-hour show that I'm going to review on Sunday, because these guys are making fun of me. These guys are saying these things about me, not knowing anything about me. This is right. I think Millie might have still been in jail when this interview was done that this guy's puts in here. Right? But what they're actually saying is they're pointing out, they're reading articles that actually are attributed to me from going back to 2004. Now they're mocking me, they're making fun of me, and that's okay. I do a shitty ass comedy show on Wednesdays a lot with Kevin Holly, so I can't criticize sucky comedians. But this is going to be fun, because not only do they suck as like comedians, they are so totally wrong. It's not funny. It is funny. I mean, they're so wrong. It is funny. But they also help me make these points, right? And it's funny because although these guys are attacking Tori and even Millie, and they're really horrible people. And they have, they got the canned laugh and stuff. Again, if that ever happens to me, if I ever start reading from a teleprompter and not just from my heart, fucking shoot me. Just get rid of me, right? That's if you want somebody reading something from a teleprompter, you've got Judge Janine, you've got these people who will just feed you bullshit, right? But if you want somebody who is telling you the truth, who you can verify their credentials, right? They might be a little odd, but you can look at their story and say, wow, maybe I should listen to this guy, because he isn't reading from a teleprompter. He is telling this from his heart, and he might not be doing the best job, artistically. But again, then I go back to put yourself in my shoes before you judge me too hard. Yeah, I use curse words a lot. You probably maybe would too, right? I didn't work with these programs and do these things because I'm like a normal person, I suppose. You don't enlist at the age of 39, turn 40 at basic training because you're a normal person. right? You do that because you're not normal. And people will try to weaponize that. You know, it's like so sad. I had people try to weaponize my PTSD. You know, something I got. I don't deny it. I talk about it in my first book, but it's not like I'm gonna go, you know, harm people thing. It's a waking up at night, seeing things. So we won't even go there. Not on Christmas. But they'll use that. They'll use these things that I thought my country was going to stand behind me on. And they'll use that against me, like, you know, like they did with Lynn and stuff. But I'm not going to go there, right? Not going to go there. This is so good because look what he says, right? Look what he says. And we're just going to skip through this because Sunday's going to be a good show. It's uncommon for me to write a report without naming names and putting faces to those names. It is, techniques, protocols. Let me go down here. Right there, right? The psychological warfare subject matter expert, SME, introduced me has impeccable credentials. I verified his identity as well as his military history. If I were to mention his name, there's a good chance some readers, especially military veterans, would know who he is. He spent 30 years in active duty U.S. Army, and most of that time was spent in psychological warfare operations. Big red letters. And he confirmed everything Bergy said. Claimed. A year. Has anyone ever written that about Tory? Someone who attacked me terribly? No. And again, I can't go there right now. I'm not sad. I'm the happiest man on the fucking planet. And I get it. This guy's like not much more than me, but I don't know who the hell he is. He just went out there and did something I wished every journalist out there would do. And if they found one thing I was lying about, they could come at me and say, hey, this guy's lying, right? And I would be able to say, about what? And then I would be able to say, here you go. And then they would probably come to this conclusion, because you know what this guy says at the very end? Because there's a lot more I'm skipping over, right? And it's good stuff. He says that this is a story of the story I never expected to write. A story about a viral conspiracy theory that, at least within the context of the subject covered, turned out to be true. Hopefully those researchers that have been ignoring Bergy, that have been ignoring and ridiculing Patrick Bergy, give it a read. They owe him an apology. I'll settle, instead of an apology, just reporting the truth. Reporting the damn truth. How about that? Do your job as a journalist, a constitutionally protected person, someone I fought for. 8 years overseas, 2 years in Iraq and Afghanistan almost. You want to nitpick those last few months. This is a great Christmas. This is a great Christmas. But a lot more work to do. A lot more work to do. I'm going to put, like I said, I'm going to put together something really cool. I want to thank this journalist not for writing something nice about me, but for just looking into my claims. And he seems to have, he couldn't put down his sources, and I get that. And I don't, if you're a journalist, if you want to keep, you want to keep going at something like me or somebody like me, or this story, just, if you would, just ask him. If you're a journalist, he'll share that. I would imagine he'll share that information with you. And if you went out and researched that yourself and had any questions, come to me. Right? Even if you think I'm a dick. Right? I can be. Those guys in that show, they're like, this guy's a dick. This guy's an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, I am. But they were actually liking me. It was funny. You're going to, again, these guys say some real dick things. And let's have that conversation about how people need to maybe tone down their stuff. Present company included sometimes. I get that. If somebody's up there saying that they're damn perfect, they aren't. Right? They aren't. And just don't trust them. But if somebody can say, hey, I ain't perfect, but I ain't that bad either, then, maybe take a look at them. Maybe help support them. Maybe help them get their message out. Because, I spent since ShadowGate came out, I was attacked, I was lied to, betrayed by so many people you wouldn't even imagine. And all I've been trying to do was warn people about social media, psychological warfare applications that our government has been using to influence our elections. I'm almost certain of. At least I have strong information and belief to support that. Look into it. No harm, no foul. You can easily verify my credentials. And if you want to just say, oh, this guy's nutty, and not actually, if you want to just focus on me, we're screwed. But if you want to actually focus on, type in clearforce.com. It's not a conspiracy theory when you can go to their website and they tell you what they're doing. And if you wonder why I seem crazy sometimes, it's because that's true. And it's just, it's shocking to someone like me. It's shocking to someone like me that our country, people, I see good patriots get behind people like Flynn and all of these other people. I do. And I just wonder, how can those people support people that would do something like that to me and then bury me? Because if you're supporting them, you might as well be, if you're supporting Flynn, you might as well be supporting Jonathan Lee Riches, who was his security, said awful things about me, said published that I molested my daughter. We'll get him taken care of legally someday. You know why? Because a man of honor, if somebody does that to a man of honor, he will not stop until his honor has been restored. Sometimes even a sociopath makes a mistake. In doing that to me, Mr. Jonathan Lee Riches, was a mistake. Right? Because I will find a way to have you legally held responsible for your actions. And when I do that, Discovery is going to connect me to all of your little sociopath friends. Right? So then it's going to be our country is going to be able to start healing. And if we make big enough examples out of some of these people, perhaps we can get our Congress to write laws. Perhaps we can get our Congress to write like a social media Bill of Rights, maybe even a constitutional amendment because we've got to be able to protect ourselves from this with this new technology. Our Constitution isn't meant to be messed with too much. We've seen that, and it really hasn't. Look what happened when we tried to get rid of liquor. But maybe it's time for us to go in there and make a new one altogether at the end. I was at 27, 28. I forget the number. I just had a civics class, though, too. That's pretty sad. But go in there, add one more that's the social media Bill of Rights, and address these issues with Facebook, address these issues with our personal property, address these issues with what our government's allowed to do as far as its involvement in these social media things. Demand that we get demand that we get a national public internet, and then and include that in the Constitution, so that we can build out a place that is safe, and then we can also have the World Wide Web to download our porn, right? It's a great idea. It is. Right? Why not? We're going to be screwed if we don't, my friends. We're going to be screwed if we don't. And there's a lot of people that don't want this, right? But, again, Christmas is a time to be with our families, but it's also a time to share very happy stories. So I had to share this one. And thanks, Hip. Again, thank you, everyone. I can't go through all of the people here, but I want wish everyone, Heathcliff and Little One. I'm trying to understand the problem that you were having with the subscription. Pretty much everything, pretty much everything should be even available and open. Largely everything should be available and open right now on the Bergy-Bit at freedomstream.tv, even the archive stuff, right? But there's a couple other things that I haven't fully got set up and everything. So I'm working on that. I am. And maybe maybe I'll work on that a little bit more tomorrow, right? I'm not gonna do a show tomorrow, but I might stop in and say hello or something, or I'll probably put maybe out a few tweets or something. But again, we want to definitely check our fire, right? Let the enemy and yourself have a day today. Have a very blessed Christmas. I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. Article link. Well, it's on my Twitter. Let me do this here. I will post a link, but it's with Open Resources LLC. So I'll post a link on freedomstream.tv under the Bergy-Bit. I actually uploaded today the 22nd and 20 video from the 22nd, 23rd, right? I've shared this link out on Twitter, and I'll put it everywhere I can. But I actually would like to go just chill out and relax for a bit, right? I'm in Florida. The weather's like perfect right now. It's beautiful. It's maybe in the upper 60s, mid 70s, and low 70s. Absolutely beautiful. So wherever you're at, if you got a white Christmas going on, damn, that'd be pretty nice. If it's just cold, rainy, and wet, it sucks to be you, but you wish you were here. No, man, I tell you what, this is going to be a great, great new year coming. my 56th birthday is December 30th. Oh, and probably haven't. I don't think I've worn this for a while. This is actually my JCSE sweat, right? From not basic, from my unit. Although I was it was an airborne unit. I was not airborne qualified. I'm not trying to claim I was. I oftentimes complained about that. I couldn't. I had to get my runtime down to like under 15 minutes to be able to get a slot in. Airborne, which I could have gotten if I could have gotten my runtime down. You're in JCSE. I mean, you're going to get a freaking slot. You meet the requirement. It was like that wasn't going to happen. The minimum requirement for me and my age and everything at that time was 18 minutes 18 seconds for the 2 mile, right? And you know what I did it in? 18 minutes 18 seconds. I wasn't getting down to fucking 15. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. I wasn't getting it down, but I said it kind of a funny way. It wasn't a bad, mad way. I wasn't getting it down to 15 minutes. That wasn't going to happen. I was already falling apart, physically, not mentally. Listen, hey, you guys, have a blessed evening. Thank you very much again for all your support, all your help. For those that stood by me, God bless you. I couldn't have done this without you. I really couldn't have. Financially, obviously I couldn't have, but just sometimes it's not even 99% of the times it's not the money. It's the people that are at those times that just like send you a text message or something. When all these people, these powerful, powerful people are attacking you and all you're trying to do is tell the truth. Good night, everyone. God bless you.